I know, I'm excited to play it, John. Really excited to play it. Hello, everybody. Hi, everybody. Welcome in. You're so hot. Hello. Hello, my new bestie. Y'all, we got a story time to tell later. It's going to be fun. But yeah, today we're going to play Mario Party. We're going to finish the remaining boards of Mario Party so you guys can rewatch them while I'm away. And then we're going to jump into Hi-Fi Rush, which was happily provided by one of my friends over at Bethesda Studios. Thank you to Cami for giving us a key to play Hi-Fi Rush, the deluxe edition. I found your channel on YouTube. I was watching you play Brawl and I fell in love with you. Welcome in. Hi, Donnie. Welcome in. Donnie is continuing their gift sub. Thank you. And also thank you to Bunny Boy for subscribing for 6 months. Love you so much. Yeah, Nemi Lois emote in the chat. That is seriously my best emote. Like, for real, for real. But yeah, excited to stream before I go away this weekend. Super excited for this weekend. I can't wait to post and show you guys what's up. I'm just not sure of what I can disclose. Hi, Rue. I'm enjoying it so much. It looks really good. I love the massive love Hi-Fi Rush is getting. And it's surprising too. I was talking to one of the developers. They hot dropped the game, which is crazy. Like, honestly, so hard to get a game to get so much love when you hot drop a game, but it's getting the love it deserves. I'm happy for it. The network is networking. Oh, we sure are, baby. So I gotta go get ready to leave. Have a great stream. Oh, so you come in for 5 minutes after yelling at me to start at 5 o'clock and then you leave in seconds. Okay, I see how it is. Okay. No, seriously, enjoy your time. Thank you for coming. Thanks for popping in. So let's play some Mario Party. Girl, the wind is winding. If my power goes out, I'm gonna be plucked. I'm gonna be plucked. If you started at 5, I'd had 45 minutes. I'm sorry, I had to put makeup on. I had to look gorgeous for the cameras. Wow. Oh, I didn't. Oh, that's right. In the main menu, you can make them do funny faces. The wind is winding. Like, I'm scared to get on a plane tomorrow. Like, what's happening? I will not play a 50 turn board. You're crazy. I thought I got some blue going on. Oh, you've never done it before? I want to play as Dry Bones again. Actually, yeah. No! Yeah, let's play Dry Bones. We got the very hard, so let's play very hard. Waluigi is very hard, girl. Oh, he's hard. Love this blue. Thanks, babe. How much is the wind going right now? I'm gonna look it up. I like hear it smacking against my window. Windy conditions. Well, obviously. $19 miles per hour. I don't want to know any secrets. You can F off. Sorry. Oh, yes, I got 10. I'm first. Oh my gosh, thank you for the raid at the top of the stream. My first live stream to see Nemesis Network. Welcome in, Calvin. Oh my god, thank you for raiding, baby. How are you doing? Welcome in. Welcome in, raiders. How are you doing? How was your stream? Thank you so much for the raid. We just started stream. I really appreciate it. Sending some love over here. What did you do? What was the stream about? I don't have any mods active and I can't use my keyboard, but everybody please follow. Hi, Jack. Liking the blue. Hopefully tonight is a little relaxing for your big weekend. Oh, babe, I'm stressed. Oh, I'm stressed. I'm nervous. It's kind of like a monumental moment. Luga Raid, welcome in. Love the makeup is eating. Thank you. Oh, I thought that said, okay, Minora. Thank you. I love this map. This is my favorite map in Mario Party history. I'm nervous, guys. Like, I'm really nervous. I'm excited but nervous. I'm excited that, I have actually an oomphy that we just followed each other last week, but I have an oomphy that I know that I can kick it with at the event. Yeah, this is one of my synthetic hairs. You know I don't like a synthetic girl. You know I like the human hair units. But I thought I'd spice it up. Got a little blue going on for the Teen Vogue party. That's a Selena Gomez reference. Not Swing Kings. Girl, we're playing against very hard computers. Like, I'm gonna lose all these mini games. For sure. Oh my god, those emotes are so good. Okay, girl. We need to win. We can't miss one. Okay. Oh. Guys, am I doing good? Fuck, as I miss one. Oh! Oh my god. Guys, I didn't play baseball, I played T-ball. Y'all know I played T-ball for the T-girl. I need the little T-ball thing. Okay, well, I don't think I won. Blue hair and pronouns, I relate. Kay, bitch, if you rewatch my VOD, I was screaming for your help the other day. I was like, where's Kay, lucky dog? I was like, where is Kay? Help me, Jesus. I need to get like a buzzer, like so you know that I need your help. Same reason, you keep people in check for me. You humble people. High key. Is very hard actually very hard? I don't know, I gotta feel it up. We'll have to see if it's hard or soft. I'm not throbbing, girl. Miss you. I miss you too. I miss you more. MX sleepy. Well, I'm on a normal sleep schedule now, and then we were like, oh yeah, we'll get on an unbalanced sleep schedule together, and then I got on a normal one, so we're just all over the place. Yes, yes. I don't think people have bad intentions, but I just think some people just aren't like they're not aware of how they come off. Listen, I'll fuck up my sleep schedule if you respond to my messages. I got you. I just want to play Overwatch all night with somebody. Is that too much to ask? Even if I rage quit, like, can we just keep playing after we rage? Hello? I have a flight tomorrow morning though, and I have so much to do before my flight. I have to make sure. I started packing, and this outfit, like this jacket I got, is so fierce, but it is literally taking up my entire suitcase. Like, I don't know what to do, and I need to pack 2 more outfits and my makeup and hair. So I'm like, what am I gonna do? You know, you want to know what happened last time when I flew to TwitchCon? Actually, guess what they made me do? They literally made me empty out my suitcase because it was 3 pounds heavier than the limit. I was like, fuck you guys. Oh, I was so close. It was. The lady was low-key transphobic. I was like, what the hell? She's like, what is all this stuff you got? Can't you just throw it out? I was like, ah! Not throw out a human hair unit. You're sick in the head. Hi, Max. Oh, big numbers. She was on something. Like, she was so nasty to me. If I see her again at my flight tomorrow, I'm gonna clock her. Like, what's up? What's good, bitch? Oh, Donnie, y'all need to put the post notifications on because tomorrow morning, I am going to serve absolute cunt at the airport. I am so excited. I am so excited. I'm wearing my fur, you know the jacket I wore to the Game Awards? The fur coat, I'm wearing that, putting my hair up. I'm gonna wear my very expensive sunglasses. I'm gonna have my suitcase. I'm gonna look so good. Obsessed with Kakiguri, it's so good. Oh no, it's really good. I still haven't watched Twins. It's a 6-episode thing. Did you watch it? We could probably watch it together if you haven't watched it. They all just landed on that space. Can we rewind the tapes? They all literally just landed on that space. Way to give me a heart attack for a second. Not the jerking off minigame. Girl, I'm gonna have to do this hardcore because these are very hard computers. Oh, it's over. Good morning, Maddie. Have my bot on? I do. Sorry, the way you described it, like a warm spot, like a hot pocket in your pants. I'm sorry. But like real. I go through the scanner thing and they see me just like posing as femme and then they see my giant cock. Sorry. Girl cock. You can't even see my hand when I do that because I'm wearing all black. I'll let them know who's the top at the airport. I'll let them know. No, I didn't want to do that. Hi, Ava. Why is Mario jacking off? I would like to see it. Just kidding. I don't like him after Chris Pratt. Okay, girl. I gotta do the thing. Oh yeah, we're gonna be moaning and groaning right now. Go! Oh my god, stop! Oh, are we tied? No, I shoot the farthest. I know that's right. Oh, she's pissing. Not a squirter. She's experienced. That hurt my arm. We ignore the chat here. Sorry, I'm talking like Angel. I keep watching Angel's streams. Angel is so fucking funny. Angel XO. Their entire chat is just, we do this here, we do that here. It's so funny. I'll never forget what they said to me at TwitchCon. They're literally one of the sweetest people I've ever met and made me feel so visibly like... She made me feel so good as like somebody that's just starting my transition. Like, I'll never forget it. They're literally one of the sweetest people I ever know. We are going to be playing a game later that I got provided, which is going to be very fun. It's by Bethesda. They dropped it yesterday. It's like a rhythm game, very cartoony, very classic. I'm excited to try it. But I'm going to need y'all's help because I guess my computer's fucking up lately that like when we played a game the other day, it was kind of lagging. So I just need you guys to let me know if it's like lagging or whatever. This isn't fair. Boo can just like float around. Hello? Clocked. 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 And that's how it's done. No problem, Nemesis. Thank you so much, Maddie Cheap Cheap. Can we get some Nemi Loises in the chat? Dry what? It's such a good emote. Oh, big numbers. I just clocked everybody. And then I get to go downstairs. Oh, girl, we're eating this match. Hello, Kimberly Kim Flair Morgan. How are you? I'm doing good. I'm, like I told you, I'm very nervous, but we're surviving. I do love going to the airport, though. I'm excited to go to the airport. I like just walking around, grabbing some food, enjoying my good time. I love airport food, but that's me. I don't know. I know. Instead of getting blue in the face, my hair was blue because I'm nervous. Could you imagine? What if she's there? And they ask me to interview her? Hi, Egg. That's so funny, Donnie. Hi, sweetie. I have to delete my aunt's Instagram comments because she'll comment and like post my real name and I'm like, stop! Stop! Even though my dead name and my name now is one letter difference. Like, it's kind of funny, but still, the sentiment. Oh my god, I forgot it's like tilt controls. Jesus Christ. Do you guys want to know a funny story of yesterday on Overwatch? What is on my leg? Why is King Boo, like, fucking it up? That's also not King Boo, by the way. Oh my god, the drifting? Girl, we gotta cut him off. Okay, literally Boo cheated. I thought about it. I definitely thought about changing it completely. I'm still in the middle of it. Like, I haven't even, like, I'm very early stages of it. Like, I thought of, like, I really like the name Savannah. I think that's such a pretty name. What happened in Overwatch? Okay, yesterday. So yesterday I was playing Overwatch. No, I was actually playing quick play because you can't play Lucio in competitive right now because Lucio isn't a viable support. His healing is too weak in, like, the support category for Overwatch. So I wanted to play some Lucio because I'm really enjoying Lucio. And I was playing quick play, and this guy in the voice chat, my first game of the day, was being so toxic to me and being like, oh my god, are you gonna support us? Are you gonna play with that? Like, are you gonna, like, play the game? Like, blah, 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 like, talking mad shit. And this other guy in the voice chat, the other support, because I was solo queuing, he goes, don't fucking talk shit to these people. You're a fucking loser, blah, 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 and, like, defending me. And I was like, oh, that's so nice. They just kept going back and forth because he kept, like, shitting on me, and this guy kept defending me. And come to find out, the person that defended me actually works at GCX, and we have mutuals on Twitter. So we weren't that far off from knowing each other, which is crazy. But he was very nice. Very sweet. And if you didn't know, I went to GCX this year. But he worked the main stage, and he was like, oh my god, crazy, we have mutuals. And I was like, yeah, that's awesome. He was here a couple minutes ago, but... I'm gonna ignore it, Safety. Also, hi, Safety. I just go by the first part of my name, my middle name. Yeah, I don't know, like, I don't want to go through the thing of, like, changing my entire name because that would be so exhausting for me, and I'm, like, the laziest person alive when I'm not streaming or working. Like, when I have my me time, when I have me, I'm lazy. Not in the work environment or anywhere else. Like, I'm a hardworking individual and I pride myself on it, but, like, in terms of taking care of myself, bitch, I'm the laziest person ever. I'm like, whatever. So, like, I think going from, like, Case to Casey is, like, fine. Like, it's whatever. It's, you could literally just say, like, some people already call me that because of how it's spelled, so it's fine. That doesn't give anybody in the comments or the Twitch chat right now the, like, that doesn't give anybody the card to call me Case. Like, I will literally beat you down. I'm so serious. The 3 people that can call me that are my partner, if I ever get a partner, my mom and my sister, and my dad, but he's dead. Hi, do you want to say my name? Everybody else can say Casey, but even that, like, the fucking trend, whatever her name did on TikTok of, like, calling people by their government names, like, stop. Like, you're weird. Why would you do that? Stephanie Prince or whatever. I just, like, okay, like, they kept saying, like, oh yeah, I got an okay from all the queens to do this. I was like, okay, you're just lying. Like, you didn't get an okay, because Lemon was clearly blocked. in the video. Lemon was like, don't fucking call me that. And I was like, that's why I love you, Lemon. You're the realest bitch. No, I swear she didn't. She just said she did. She's lying. I don't know personally. I don't know her personally, but like she made her Instagram caption, oh, I asked for permission. She maybe asked like 4 people. Cause also, okay. If we're gonna get into it, cause it makes me very passionate, cause it makes me uncomfortable. Like, why would you come up to me and say my dead name or my government name? The entire video is to gag the performer. Like, she was like recording, like it was like, oh, haha, I got you, like pranked. So she didn't ask before, she probably asked after. Because the entire gimmick of the video is like, ha, I got you! Probably. Probably use the footage opposed to the name. Still, I'd be like... Either way you want to look at it, like, oh, if she got permission, oh, if she used the footage... I don't think that's a trend we should be defending or even supporting or even entertaining. Like, that's so weird. It's really weird. Any sense of it is like, it doesn't make sense. Like, oh yeah, like I can't, whatever. It made me real mad watching it. I was like, girl. Bonjour, hi. Hi, Lee. Right, exactly. Even if she like was like, don't do this, like it still encourages people to do it because some people are like naive and some people are like underage and they just kind of watch it and they're like, oh my god, that's so funny, haha. Do we think King Boo's a drag name though? Like, real question. Oh yeah, 100. I'm fucking up these chips. These chips are good. Cape Cod chips? Ooh. Oh yeah. Have y'all ever been to Cape Cod? Cape Cod. Okay, for you people in the UK, it's like a circus underground, and there are male strippers that walk the streets and give people candy. For the people in the UK, that's what Cape Cod is. They're just regular. I couldn't have spicy chips right now. I don't have a drink. I heard men, drugs, and candy. I'm sour candy. Oh, don't forget the poppers. Lee, you gonna bring the poppers to Cape Cod? Please. Why me? I don't know, girl. I can't ask my friend for some poppers? Shit! God. Speaking of, do I have some in here? I do. I haven't done them in a while. I feel like I would die if I did them right now. Should I? Gift a sub and I'll do one. I'll do a little. I'll have to blur myself though, excuse me. Girl, yeah, who fucking cares? Guys, I'm just cleaning my desk. What are you guys talking about? You guys are weird. Now you mean like on the live and then you do it? Oh my god, my blur doesn't work anymore because I updated my OBS. Okay guys, if you would excuse me. Take my word for it. I'm right here, girl. Oh, it sizzled. Where am I? Okay, we good. Okay, they just hit me. Don't look at me. Is it hot in here? Girl, I love doing these at parties. It's so fun. Yeah, I mean, I had a sip of soda, you guys. I had a sip of soda and had a jalapeno popper. Look, 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 look. These are jalapeno popper chips. What if I drank it? I saw someone go to the hospital because they did that lately. Why are you drinking jalapeno poppers? No, I wouldn't. Okay, Peach, you bitch. Those jalapeno poppers were gifted to me by Marisol when I was at GCX. Marisol said, take these, baby. And I said, I'll keep them. Well, yeah, that happened to my friend at Pride because, like, we usually, like, are just, like, partying and then it's just a thing. But, like, they were, like, doing it once and it, like, someone, like, hit up underneath it and it, like, splashed all over their lip. So it gave them, like, a chemical burn on their lip. Okay, he just took me a star from me. Thanks, appreciate it. I was really far ahead, but it's okay. I'll eat my jalapeno chips. Mm-mm. Not permanent. It just looks nasty. It's like a cut. You should try it. Just kidding. My leg is asleep. It's like in that state of like being asleep and not asleep. Girl. That popper's on eggs. And Key would literally die. Hello, Maddie. I'm eating Cape Cod chips. Can you please give me a moment? You're straight. Me when I lie. Why have all the 1v3s been me against these guys so far? What is this? I love women, I love women, I love men, I love men. Well, I lose. I don't know how I got that. They did that so fast. Are you kidding? Maddie, cheap, cheap. I choked. I think I'm Pan at the end of the day. I'm so proud of you. I just think so many people are hot. Like, I know, yeah. I'm mostly attracted to men, which is unfortunate. Especially like femme guys. I think that's like where it comes for me, like my orientation, like my sexual orientation or preference. Like femme boys, femme guys. I mean, in reality, like, it never is like... You're so real. When we hear that at Rumble, oh, bitch, it's over. At the end of the day, I think I'm more attracted to somebody that puts effort and time and, like, their personality. And I know that's so, like, typical, like, to be like, oh my god, this and that. But honestly, if someone, like, really... That's real. I agree, Max. I mean, I could work with anything, but like, you know. Listen, I've dated the ugliest guys, I've dated the shittiest guys, but like, you know, I'd like somebody that actually gives a shit. They don't have to be a five-star hotel of a man, I swear. They don't have to be so perfectly attractive. Like, cause I know I'm not. The fuck? Oh, this one sucks. Yeah, honestly, that's like the biggest like attraction to me is if somebody cares and puts time and energy. Honestly, if a guy gives me a good morning messages, I'm like, oh my god, we're in love. Can you please? Why are they going so fast? Somebody pushed them off. They're cheating! Boo is only using one hand! That's not fair! Did you see that? Something ain't adding up. Oh, ho, ho. Am I in last? No way. Guys, I started off so strong. I like glitch. You couldn't do anything else? He gave me a dual out candy, that's it. Are you kidding? You couldn't do anything else. Hello? Oh, big numbers. I'm doing good, Sauce. I'm a little nervous for this weekend, but I'm excited. Excuse me. I do not need that because I have the least money in the game. Oh my god, Waluigi's about to get a star too for free. I love your safety cosplays. So real. I love when you have your hair blue. It's like my favorite on you. It's like Mifa with their hair being green. I think their hair is still green. Also Marshall with his, when he has his shag, but he never listens to me. I know, Mifa's killing it in school though. They went to I think they went to LA today. But like, I didn't know Mifa was like in, like Mifa used to like mod in here. Well, they still do, but like Mifa used to mod in here while doing like insane like upper class classes. Like they were, I didn't know this until we went to TwitchCon together, but I didn't know they were like, they're like ahead of the game, like in school. Like they're really smart. I'm not saying that I didn't know they were smart, but like I was shocked that like for their age they're like literally like at a college level. Like it's crazy. Like not even that, like college graduate. Like whatever it is, like 8-year whatever. I don't even know, bitch. Yeah, that. I know, how fucking old am I and I can't even like do a simple equation. But girl, yes. You know what I'm excited for? I'm excited to eat so much fucking food when I go to Texas. Sure am. So me, so I just draw. But you're good at drawing. I haven't either, Max. Like, I haven't been eating dinner. Oh. Huh? Should I go buy a lottery ticket? That was kind of really lucky. That was insane. Ooh, this might be good. Oh, I made it to the thing! Yeah, I've been eating chips. We've been like just had 5 different conversations in the span of 2 seconds. I've been like trying to diet. Like I've been trying to eat healthier. So like I'll wake up. I've been really good with my sleep schedule too. I'll wake up at like 8 or 9, right? And that, oh, that was so mean. Oh, well, it put me back at the start. Work. So I've been waking up at like 8 or 9. I'll have breakfast. Then after that, I'll do like Overwatch, Genshin, Fire Album, whatever. I'll enjoy like my morning, like to just like play some games like to myself. Oh, there's a hair. Then I'll take a nap around like 1 or 2 o'clock. So I'm only eating like a small breakfast, then that, and then like I'll get into drag or like I'll play video games all day that I forget. I've been playing like, I've been so immersed in video games lately, like enjoying my time off, enjoying my video games lately, that I haven't really, like, I forget to eat. Not that like it's a bad thing, like I'm doing it unhealthily, but like when you get so invested in a video game, you forget to eat because you're just like loving it. Like, that's how I am right now. Like I hate to say it, but I love Overwatch so much. Like, I forgot how much I love that game. It's how I met one of my best friends ever. Like, I just, like, there's just so much to that game. Like, I could play it all day, every day. I could, if I could stream it, I would, to be, like, one of the Overwatch streamers. Like, I know it's, like, yeah, like, Blizzard, horrible people, whatever. Not whatever, but, like, you know what I mean? Like, I know, like, that is a horrible thing. Like, I shouldn't be supporting them, but I don't know, like it's just something I can turn my brain off and really enjoy. Like at heart, I'm an FPS gamer, so like I fully am playing it like all day, every day. So that's just my piece. Safe travels this weekend. Thank you. I'm really nervous because it's storming here in Mass right now, so. See, that's, I see that for a lot of people that I do too. I have a very short temper, but like, if you just like talk shit to somebody in the post-game chat or like yell at them on the mic and then like leave, like, just go next, you know? That's what I do. I'm ready to go. Like, I could play it all night, every day. I really could. Like, I understand, like, yeah, I'm like bored of it. It's terrible right now, like, whatever. But I could literally play it for like 12 hours at a time. Listen, I talk shit in the post-game chat. I will. I'm toxic. I don't care. Some people deserve it. They did, but it's not the complete rework they've been discussing about. Because he is getting like a complete rework. I was watching Scream 2 and every time someone died, I went, oop, get gagged. I'm so bad. That's what Key said too when we were playing Overwatch. He was like, oh, you're rubbing off on me. I'm like saying everything. What's crackers on a cake? I don't know, girl. For real, I don't know. I could fuck up some saltines though right now. I could. Where is the gold space? Can I? This is not what I want to see. Can you please? Where is the class? It's not till the green car. What candy is there? Do we have? Dual? No, we can't use any of these. Oh, good number. Oh, you have classes this late? Thanks for saying hi. Hope your class goes well. I actually really like Elden Ring. I was really surprised at how much I enjoyed it. I'm excited for the DLC, and we're gonna play it when they come out. I'm like really excited for Tears of a Kingdom. I'm gonna play Forspoken. I don't think it would run well on my computer, nor will it happen very well on my stream. I think my stream would lag, my computer would die. Like, I have a good computer, but like the game looks so heavy on computers. Like, it looks like it would blow your computer up. Especially streaming it, I'm good. I'm fine.
So many
It does. I'm just not invested in it, so I'm gonna pass. There's too many things I want to do, guys. Like, I need to put myself first. I gotta put me first. I want to do more retro gaming. I don't care about these new gen games. I want to play the games that I love from the past. I want to get back to my roots. GoldenEye, yes, definitely want to stream that. I know, Tears of, like I was saying before we started this conversation, I really am excited for Tears of a Kingdom, especially because I wasn't streaming when Breath of the Wild came out. Nor did I even have any social, like, I was not on social media at all when I played it for the first time ever. So, like, experiencing Tears of a Kingdom for the first time ever with you guys is gonna be so good. Do people know if GoldenEye drops midnight or local time? It probably drops at, probably 9 p.m. East, 9 p.m. PST. So it's probably gonna be really late for you. So I would just wait till the next day. Did you guys see that they released it on Xbox Game Pass and then Nintendo was like, yeah, we have a release date now, finally. I was like, get gagged. Dead Space Remake comes out tomorrow. I'm supposed to do something for them, but I haven't gotten anything in the mail, so I'm a little confused by that. But, you know, work. Do Wii games count as retro now? Baby, this came out, like, the Wii came out in, like, 2006, 2007. It's, like, almost, like, 15, 16 years old. It's retro, baby. That's when people were like, Nem, why are you calling the GameCube retro? I'm like, girl, it's 20 years old. Like, it's just the way it is, girl. Yes, Life Glitch, I'm very excited to play it later. Oh, you called me old. All right. So how old are you? Who says that on their first interaction with someone says, how old are you? That's hot. Older non-binary people, hard eyes emoji. Anyone remember the PS4? I would like to forget about it. Okay, what do we, how many spaces we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I could land... I think we should just roll the dice, because even if we get a 10, like, we'd be on the space. So I'm just gonna roll. Maybe we can get it lucky and get a 10. Wow! Holy shit! Oh, wow. I'm gagged. Yeah, PS2 and GameCube are my favorite. I like Wii too. The Wii has some good shit. What chapter have you... I've only gotten one chapter further, Max. I'm only at chapter 16 now. I just got the dancer guy. I'll play a lot of it when I'm in Texas. Like, I'll play a lot... I fly in tomorrow and I have the whole day to myself, so I'll probably just play it in my hotel room. I'm not gonna, like... I don't know. They're inviting us to a dinner, but, like, I would like to be in drag for that. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe... Oh, wait. They do invite us. I would love to wear a nice gown. Nice cocktail dress. Ooh. I'm getting in drag so much this weekend, I don't even care. I'm flying out on Sunday. I have a press event at 10 o'clock on Sunday, and I fly out at 7 o'clock, but I check out of the hotel at 10 o'clock as well. But I'm leaving in drag, so I think I'm gonna have to de-drag in, like, a public restroom, girl. But, like, when the hell am I gonna be able to meet these people that I'm meeting this weekend ever again, you know? My nose is really itchy. I'm not picking my nose for the sake of picking my nose. I need like a tissue. I literally have a Fire Emblem tattoo. Ah! I love that. I want to see it. Join the Discord and send a picture. Also, anybody that isn't in the Discord, feel free to join the Discord. We blow our nose here. Hi, Cammy. I know I saw you in Angel's chat and I was like, I was just talking about it a couple minutes ago. I was like, Angel has been affecting the way I speak. It's so funny. The jingle jingle, so real. Yeah, one of my mods and I keep playing Overwatch and he just keeps talking like Angel and I'm like, please. Like, I love Angel. Like, that's not a bad thing. I'm like, it's Angel XOXO stan brain rot. That's how I am right now. She's one of my good friends, but like, she's a great content creator. Did y'all see Marshall just got a Liv Morgan tattoo? It looks really good. I told him not to get the watch me, but he didn't listen to me. He never listens to me. Okay. I want the Silent Hill tattoo, but the Silent Hill save logo is literally a demonic thing to like summon demons. So I'm like, do I really want to get that when I already feel like I have a demon following me? He did. I'll have him send it in the Discord when he wakes up. He should already be awake, but he's not awake. Annoying. Just a man being a man. I love that. Not literally your entire screen being black for the load screen and my blue hair just poking out. I look like a floating head. A Sarah Logan tattoo? Why? No disrespect, but why? I kind of want a tattoo, but there's no indication of what the price range is. I was literally like, why, John? You're so weird for that. I still need to get a tattoo for the subathon. I just haven't booked it because I'm stupid. I want Aerith's flower from Final Fantasy VII on my hip, though. So when I take my pants off and wear a thong, it looks sexy. Does this go up to 5 or 10? It goes up to 5, okay. Roll 2 dice. Okay, work. Hi, house music. Well, I am this weekend. Oh, wow, I don't even need this. I am gonna ask the people I meet this weekend to write on a piece of paper. I'm gonna ask them, can you write certain things or like draw certain things, and then I'm gonna get it tattooed. So I'm gonna, when I meet Liv Morgan, I'm gonna have her write Pisces, and then I'm gonna get it tattooed. Because I want something Pisces on me, but I also want to be like, Liv Morgan wrote this. Thank you. I'm really nervous, you guys. I am so, like, meeting someone for the first time, especially meet and greets, I feel like are so weird. When I met Kelly, like, I was like, that's still unreal to me. I can't believe I met Kelly. My actual idol. When was the last time I wore different color hair than blonde on the channel? Can someone go to the YouTube VODs and look? Oh wait, we wore green. Never mind. We wore green for one of the Mario parties, yeah. No, I have a blue screen for when I wear green, because I actually love wearing green, but I don't do blonde. You wore blonde in the video, and you wore blonde for Pamela. No, that was a character choice, Lee. That was a character choice. I love how blue you painted today, Nemesis. Thank you so much, House Music. I'm glad you noticed. Why every time have we been fighting for our lives? Like, what is happening? Another 1v3. Like, why? Where's the blue lip? Okay, fuck you. You know I hated that blue lip. Girl, that's subathon, look! The Ronald McDonald with the blue lip. I can't with you guys. Y'all really had me going through it that day. No. Listen, last time somebody donated $100 for me to wear a yellow lip. And you know what? I'm not going anything less than that. If you want me to wear a yellow lip, you're gonna donate a fat wad of money. And I'll wear a yellow lip. Otherwise, absolutely not.
Now to go home and have the rest of that pasta.
There was a green look you did and you were in a photo shoot in like a garden. Oh yeah, that's my neighbor's backyard. I snuck into their backyard. What if you did a green lip and let your green screen on? That'd be kind of fierce. I feel like that's incorrect. I feel like I had a lot of candy. Me. What the fuck, you guys? Me. Exactly. Did I win? I'm gonna try, John. I'm gonna try vlogging the whole thing. Did I win? If I didn't win, then it was rigged. Exactly. I don't like the words, what a triumph, as if it's a surprise that I won. Well, how about fuck you? That was a close game. I beat very hard computers. Meow, meow.